Well, good morning and welcome back to Coffee and Curves. If you've never attended our podcast before, let me tell you a little bit about it. So at Curves, we know that figuring out how to make healthy habits stick can feel challenging and even overwhelming, especially when you're trying to juggle life, family, work, and everything else that matters to you. Support, motivation, and being surrounded by a community of women with similar goals is so important for long-term success. The Coffee and Curves podcast will focus on real conversations with real Curves women that have made positive changes to their health. These segments aren't about perfection. They are fun chats with relatable women like you that have found healthy habits that work for them. Warning, we do not discuss fads or lose weight fast tactics. We are all about real, sustainable improvements to your health. Today, I have a special guest with me, Debbie from Virginia, and we just can't wait to hear more about her Curves journey. Welcome, Debbie. We're so happy to have you here.
Thank you. It's so good to be here with you.
Great. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do in your free time, how long you've been a Curves member?
Yes, I have been a Curves member for about 3.5 years. I am a retired educator. I taught high school seniors for 33 years, and I did not join Curves until I retired. Because in my mind, it was a time factor, but so I've been a member for that length of time. I go currently, depending on the time of year, 3 to 4 days a week. In my spare time, we live in the country in Virginia. In fact, our house is over 200 years old, so we're constantly remodeling and refurbishing different things. But we have 2 children. I've been married to the same person for almost 46 years, and we have 2 adult children and 2 grandchildren. So the past year, of course, has been challenging for everyone, but we are finally able to get back together with them and are loving what we're able to do. We also travel. My husband and I travel since we retired. We try to travel a lot. So we're enjoying getting back to that. So like I said, I've been a member for about 3.5 years now.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I have a special place in my heart for educators. Both of my parents are teachers. I think they live for after school homework with my daughter because they just miss being in the classroom so much. So we love teachers here at Curves. Can you tell me a little bit more about what made you decide to go ahead and join Curves? I know you said you retired, so maybe you had a little bit more time, and you said that's what you thought you needed more time. It is only 30 minutes. So what made you make that decision to join Curves?
Well, I did not know a lot about Curves. And for me, the closest Curves club is a good 30-minute, 35-minute drive. So it wasn't on my way home.
Yeah,
it was definitely out of the way. And I was actually retired for several months, and I've realized I'm post-menopausal. I'm currently 68. And I realized through my doctor that my bone density was becoming a problem, and my muscle mass. As we age, of course, we lose muscle mass, and I knew that, but she made me realize that I probably needed to do a little something about it. And I was a runner. I've been a runner for years, and I run about 4 miles, not every day, but 3 or 4 days a week at least. So I decided to find something. And because Curves was for women, I felt more confident than going to another gym. So I went with the intention of losing just a few pounds. I really wasn't after a lot of weight loss. That was not my goal. I did want to lose a couple of inches in my waist, but my main goal was to strengthen my muscles and my bone density. That was and I was on a statin for high cholesterol that was causing some problems. So I was hoping to reduce my cholesterol a little bit too. So that's why I decided to do something, and I chose Curves because I had some friends that were members of Curves also. So they encouraged me to do that.
So I'm also a runner. I love running, and I know not many people would say that. I think that we are definitely the exception, not the rule. But one of the things that I think women forget about, we, tend to run to cardio when we want to think about exercise. The importance of strength training. And I love what you said there. It sounds like you have a very active life. You travel, you have grandkids, you are always remodeling. I think we forget how much strength we need when we remodel. Anytime I help my husband redo something the next day, I'm like, ooh, I feel that. So I love what you said about strength training, and that as women, we tend to forget about the importance. So as you have begun to strength train at Curves, what kind of changes have you felt in your body, or can you do things that you weren't able to do before?
I'm definitely stronger, and my doctor actually picked up on it before I did, and I did. I felt stronger. I could actually see definition in my arms and in my legs. I did lose the couple of inches, more than a couple of inches in my waist. I lost some pounds, but again, weight loss was not my huge goal. But she said to me, it was time for another bone density test. My cholesterol had already gone down so much. My doctor had taken me off the statin, that helped. And when she did the bone density test, she said, I'm not real sure what you're doing, but whatever it is, it's awesome. It's working. And I could tell, and she could tell too, the definition of the muscle mass. So those were the first things that I noticed. Another thing, which is totally personal, we have a boat, and we love the boat. Mm-hmm. And we use it a lot. We're on the boat a lot. So to get in the water and to get back on the boat from the water, you have to pull yourself up on a ladder. I have very few female friends that can pull themselves up on the ladder without somebody giving them a hand and helping them. For me, I just jerk myself right up because I have far more upper body strength than they do.
I love that story. So I have a horrible reoccurring dream, and it's because of upper body strength, about my children falling out a window and having to grab them.
Can't get them.
In their 20s now. I don't know that I could hold her, but Curves certainly can help with those reoccurring dreams, or to get back on the boat. I mean, it's awesome that you can do that yourself without any help.
It's so insignificant to anyone but me, but I love that I can do that.
I think some of those, what we consider insignificant moments at any point in our lives, especially as women, we don't always want to ask for help, do we? So
yeah.
that you can do it yourself is just awesome. Debbie, I want to thank you so much for sharing with us today. It has been so nice to meet you and hear about your Curves journey. We really appreciate you spending some time with us. Before we go, if there was a woman that wasn't sure about joining Curves, what would you tell her?
Two things. One, in light of everything that has happened the past year, my Curves, I'm assuming that others too, I feel so safe. I've been going back in person since we were able to reopen in Virginia. We reopened, I think she opened in June, and I've been going ever since. I feel very safe. The protocol we follow is absolutely according to state guidelines. That's one thing. And the other thing, my message would be to menopausal or post-menopausal women, this is not something that you should put off another day. And it is not a luxury. This is a necessity for your health and for your life. And you're no good to anybody in your family if you can't take care of yourself. You can't take care of anyone else.
I I couldn't have wrapped it up any better. Thank you so much for joining us today. And listeners, if you have any questions for Debbie, if you'll leave those in the chat, then we will get those questions back to Debbie and she'll answer those for you. So again, thank you for joining us today. We appreciate you so much and we will talk soon.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you.